Hello and welcome to my first YouTube channel. I am Andre, your host, and today I'll be unboxing this TP-Link AC2300, which is a router. Now, the current router that I have is a router/modem, the one provided by the internet service provider, and it's quite decent, but it does have its downfalls. For example, although it sits in the middle of the house and we live in an open plan, when it comes to streaming or casting for the matter, I get video buffering. And also when playing intensive games, the internet lags and the game even jitters. So, as you might know, that's very frustrating. But let's get on to the device itself. Now, the device, the TP-Link AC2300. As you may already know, the model of a router has an important meaning to it. For our case, it's AC2300. Now, AC stands for 802.11.AC, the Wi-Fi technology, which has now been renamed for convenience purposes to Wi-Fi 5, because obviously it's much more simple to say that. Now, while the case of the number, which our case is 2300, that is referring to the maximum speed possible for it to support. Now, but don't be fooled by this number, because it's the accumulated number for both radio frequencies, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. So I checked online, and the real maximum speed, theoretical maximum speed for the 5 GHz model is is 1733 megabits per second. So it has just dropped from 2300 to 1700-ish. Now, that is theoretical, because basically it is for the case that when you are exactly in front of the router connected directly through Ethernet, you have no interference whatsoever, you are probably the only device connected to it, so it's not realistic at all. So a more realistic number would be 60% of that figure. So 60% of 1733 would be about 1040 megabits per second. As you can see, from the original number of 2300 megabits per second has dropped for 1040, which is less than half of that. So keep that in mind. And obviously this does not apply for TP-Link routers only, it applies for all routers of any make and model. So ASUS, Netgear, all the same. They apply this to their model. Now, let's unbox it. Now, okay, there's nothing in there. How do you open this thing? Ah. Let me just put it on the side. So, installation, guys. The router itself. Let's open it up. Where's my knife? Right. There it is. With 3 antennas already connected. Yay. This makes it easier. Now, how do you rotate these things? There you go. Let's peel it off. Okay. Now, let's remove the plastic. Isn't that always satisfying to do? Look at it. Now. So, there's a router, wall adapter, and an Ethernet cable. These are all useless to me, so that's it. So there we have it. Now, what I'm gonna do before I plug this in, I'm gonna do a quick speed test of the current router to see how much we are performing at, and hopefully we'll get a much better result when it comes with this one. So I am connected to the 5 gigahertz band, as I can show you right over there. So let's see, it got a ping of 8, good. Ooh, the speed is a bit lower than usual. It would usually be, from time to time when I try it out, it would usually be about 60-70 in that area. In a few cases 100, but rarely. The upload speed is as usual, 15. Now I'm gonna stop that right there. And now I'm gonna connect to the other one. Now I just connected to the 2.4 gigahertz band frequency radio. Now usually this one gets me quite a low speed of about 20-30-ish. So let's see today. Okay, for some reason today it is actually faster than the 5 gigahertz band. That is the first time. Okay, so it's at 56. Okay, and the upload at 15. Alright, now I've tested both the 2.4 gigahertz band and the 5 gigahertz band. I'm gonna plug in the new router and then do a speed test on the results and see how much we have improved. Okay, I am connected to the 2.4 gigahertz TP-Link, as you can see. And I'm gonna do a speed test real quick. Now, the numbers for the 2.4 gigahertz on the other one was about 60, right? So now we are getting 80-ish. No, actually even better. This I have never achieved such speeds on the 2.4 gigahertz before. And the upload is gonna remain the same because that's basically the limit. Okay, now let's connect to the 5 gigahertz band instead, which is gonna be much faster than this. Oops, wrong one. Okay, the new TP-Link 5 gigahertz band. Okay, we are connected, so let me refresh this real quick. Okay, now let's hope we hit 150-60, something like that. Alright, 170, 180, 190. Alright, so as you can see, the 5 gigahertz one for the old router was peaking at 40 gigahertz. 40 megabits per second. Now, to defend a bit the old router, it was quite unusual to be that close. Would usually be higher, 70, 80, but never from my room would get 170. So it went from 30, 40 to 170. So that's quite great. And the other one, as we have seen, it was at 80-ish megabits per second, so that's quite nice. The maximum bandwidth allocated to us is 250 megabits per second, so once we intend even to upgrade that, so once it's at 500 megabits per second, then this new router is capable of handling it. So why is this router the one for you? Well, let's start off with the price. The price is of €120, which is a fair and reasonable price. And this router has support for a couple of functionalities that ordinary routers do not have, of which the one that stands out is a 3x3 MU-MIMO, which is multiple user, multiple inputs, multiple output. It's quite a mouthful, so let's stick to the acronym MIMO. So what MIMO does is, instead of broadcasting over an area, the router, it will directly connect to the devices and transmit data in between them. So it's not a broadcast, it's a direct connection. And this device router supports for a 3x3, meaning it can communicate with 3 devices at a time. So if you have more than 3 devices, it's not a problem, but it communicate constantly with 3. So if you have 6 devices requesting, it will first go with 3, then with another 3, and go through all the possible combinations. So that's a great feature that it has. Also, as we saw, I had obtained megabit per second speed on over the 5 GHz band of about 40 megabits per second, and quite a low number and unusual, but anyways, that was the case for this video. And when I plugged in the new router on the 5 GHz band, I got a speed of 170 megabits per second. So from 40 to 170, that's 3 times as much. Now, that's quite good. And as well, for the 2.4 gigahertz, it was from 60, quite a high and unusual number again. It went from 60 to 80 megabits per second, because reasonable, but you wouldn't want to connect your main electronics to the 2.4 gigahertz, because 5 gigahertz is superior. So the 180 megabits per second speed over a maximum of 250 megabits per second is quite a reasonable amount. It's about 75-80% of that. So that's quite good. So why shouldn't you get a Wi-Fi 6 router immediately? Because as a Wi-Fi 5 now is of a previous Wi-Fi technology. Now is being drafted Wi-Fi 6. Well, you shouldn't get it because it's still brand new, and it would require, you wouldn't get the benefits of Wi-Fi 6 if you don't have the latest hardware. What I mean by that, you have to have the latest smart TV, latest mobile and latest laptops, because it's still brand new. So you would have to change all your devices to truly benefit from it. So unless you have something like the Samsung Galaxy S20, which supports indeed Wi-Fi 6, you won't really get any much better speeds. You will still get higher speeds, but obviously not for the reason of Wi-Fi 6. You will get higher speeds because 350-400 euro router would have its own kinks and better features than a typical router, and even this router in particular that I have. So you will still get speeds, but is it worth spending another 200 euro to a router for a small increase in router speed? And also remember, this is you will get higher speeds only if your internet service provider allows you to, because if you have pay for a bandwidth of 100 megabits per second, then you could spend thousands of euros. You're never gonna get more speed unless you contact your internet service provider and allocate more bandwidth to you. Therefore, for the time being, as of 2020, a Wi-Fi 6 router, I would not suggest it. You don't need it for the time being, but it will take a couple of years for a true purpose of Wi-Fi 6 to be available throughout. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. That was the video. Hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. I will leave a link in the description below for, as I said, the Amazon the router through Amazon, and as well a link of a paper talking about routers and MU-MIMO and stuff that I mentioned, and how much you would get percentage wise over allocated megabits per second speed, and other technical details that might be interested. So that will be in the link. And as well, remember, this was my first official video, so please be generous. Things can only get better from now. I tend to get a proper stand because this one keeps wobbling around. And maybe a camera and some better lighting. We'll see down the road. So thanks again for watching. Leave a like and stay safe.